Good afternoon. It is Barbara, the East Coast Dragon Lady. I'm coming to you from outside today as it's such a beautiful day, and I'm getting used to the heat, I guess. We've had it now for quite a few weeks, so I thought what better time to do my weekly message and pull some cards for us. So I know I was missing a couple of days pulling cards this week. My full-time job has kept me busy this week, which I guess is a good thing. I also talk about, this is a week of learning lessons. So first of all, I want to say that for a lot of us, me included, I've realised that I'm already feeling the effects of the Lyrans Gate opening, which is 8/8. So coming up in almost 2 weeks, feeling the effects of that. Lots of Lyran energy coming in is what it's feeling like to me. I've just started a course with Maggie Wilcox on the goddesses of the Nile and the dragons, and all I saw yesterday were lion-like goddesses. Definitely got the Lyran feel. So I think there's probably some messages coming in from that. My big lesson this week is slow down. So I've been posting on Facebook that I've been walking in there's some farmland just across the road from where I live, and that was where I discovered my local dragon. So I was busy listening to him talk, and I twisted my ankle, which was, in the moment was like, a few expletives. By the time I got home, it was sore. The next morning it was swollen and black and blue. So I'm now I immediately iced it and all that stuff. I've done this once before when I fell off a step and I tore my ligaments and my whole leg bruised up to my knee. So it's just my ankle and my foot, but it's still frustrating. So I've got black toes today. So as the week has gone on, I've gone through all those colours, but my toes literally are black. But with putting a wrap on, it's actually kept it from swelling too much. I've actually got sneakers on today because that actually, as much as it's hot, it actually is more, I guess it's support of my foot. So the message was I need to slow down. But it was actually interesting to have, I don't know why I didn't even think that there might be a local dragon here, but a couple of months ago when I was out in Western Mass, I met the local dragon there, and it's the same thing, it's a hill. And he then gave me some really interesting information, which I Googled and confirmed. So his name is Perkins, and there is a town which is it's actually in New Hampshire, and that name is very, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of Perkins in Newton, New Hampshire. And so it made sense that was his name. But yes, I was way distracted, and I'm walking in fields where there's bobbikins are actually nesting, and I've noticed when I've walked there, I've got to avoid that hole. Things have tried to dig holes. It's uneven, and I've been very careful where I'm treading, but not careful enough. I did make it to the little stream that's there, and it sort of pools, and my intention was to sit there and do some meditation, but then my foot was too painful. But anyway, I've learnt my lesson. This week I have to slow down, so I've been slowing down. I do think it's just interesting how we get these messages. I'm also progressing in my course of Dolores Cannon's QHHT, where every time I listen to one of her sessions or one of the lessons that comes from that, so I'm immersing myself very much in past lives, which has brought some up for me. So doing this 5-day class on the goddesses of the Nile immediately took me to Nefertiti, who I remember that when I first started doing Reiki and connecting with higher powers, Nefertiti came in very strong. So I have some past lives in that part of the Nile, either with or as Nefertiti. So I'm looking forward to tonight. We meet every night for the next 5 days, and it's like that's going to lead us up to Lion's Gate. So let's see. Again, they told me bring all these oracle decks out. So let's see what last week it looked at. Oh, see, one's already jumped out. Family harmony. This one keeps coming up. Hopefully you can see it. Family harmony. You might have to read what the fairies mean by that. So family harmony. It's actually, I saw all this beautiful blue. This blue here is like galactic blue is how I see it. Let's see what else they have. Rise above the problem. I always seem to get the same. So come on, fairies, give me some different messages. Or am I not getting something? I am rising above problems. It's called keeping your head down. Look inside yourself. So that's a good message. So do we want to do one more? I never know what that means. Romantic partner. Kick up your heels. So I think that's about having fun, don't you? Kick up your heels. So I guess I need to, so this is, this one keeps coming up for me. So I need to do a bit more reading, I think, on what this card keeps meaning for me, because it keeps coming up. I have no idea about romantic partners, but family harmony was what I was going to look up. Your relationship with your family members are healing as you hold loving thoughts and feelings about the souls involved, including yourself. You experience genuine harmony within your family. And the affirmation is, I see the goodness within each member of my family. My family life is harmonious and filled with love and joy. That could be for me, that could be my closure with my mother. I did mention last week that I actually did a blending and brought her through so she could say what she needed to say, and she was looking for forgiveness from me so that she could move on in the afterlife. She passed over quite a few years ago, and I hadn't realized until that moment that as we if we hang on to things, then we're holding that person from moving forward or moving on. And you know, even though I'd done the forgiveness and all that stuff, I needed to hear her, and that was very freeing for my heart. This weekend I plan on doing another another session in my inner child work. So it was romantic partner. Can you hear the birds? They're, I've probably seen a few of them flying around here. The meaning of the card, a new romance is coming your way. Either a partner or a revival of passion in an existing relationship will delight you now or in the near future. The fairy realm wants you to know that a new wave of romance is coming your way. Romance could manifest itself in a number of delightful forms, such as meeting a new partner who makes your heart sing with excitement and passion, or rejuvenate a former romance with a current love. Perhaps the new romance will take the form of an exciting getaway, such as the tropical vacation, a night at a quaint bed and breakfast, or an evening of dinner and dancing. Fairies love romance, and they know the importance of feeling passion in a relationship. So all I can do is put that out to the ethers, because neither are on my horizon. And that might just be me going, no. So yeah, that's the fairies. So let's see what the crows have to say. The crows are always very wise. And I actually had a murder of crows here the other day. As soon as I moved, they all flew away, but there was 4 of them. And the interesting thing, one of them had got a worm, a very big worm, out of the ground, out of the grass that is outside of my patio. And then suddenly there was, I think there was 2 of them, and then there was 4. And as you know, they travel in pairs, so that was 2 pairs. And they were all trying to get this one worm. I don't know who won, but the one that did just hopped away from them and ate the worm, so the others didn't get it. I thought it was interesting to see. They were making so much noise you couldn't miss them, because they were literally like screaming at each other. So that was interesting to happen outside. So let's see what message they have for us today. Oh, battle. Interesting, I just talked about that. Battle. So yeah, they were, yeah, that's just what I saw. And teamwork. So they were definitely working as a team. Let's see what's on the bottom. Ghosts. All right, so I'm going to have to read about these. Let's get this book out. You can hear the birds chirping here. So the battle card, they're territorial and will fight intruders to maintain order with their space. Take notice of crows sitting on the wires. They are not involved but are watching to see which bird is the victor. This may indicate that when it comes to your situation and the battle that is brewing, there may be much in the way of outside support from either side. This could be an advantage or disadvantage depending on your position. So this indicates that when it comes to your situation and the battle is brewing, there may not be much in the way of outside support. Sounds like, excuse me, sounds like my life. So whatever that battle is, ghosts, that's what interests me, ghosts. Shadows of the past, let them visit, don't let them stay. They no longer hold substance in your world. And if they linger too long, they may become trapped in your psyche. Are you unable to forgive or seek forgiveness? Allow old wounds of the past to remain open. Pay attention to what ghosts appear. They may indicate the source of the block. It might be time for an exorcism. Interesting. Okay, 48. I'm certainly revisiting the past, certainly today. Crows have mastered teamwork. Mobbing is an example of how crows work together on a common goal. When an intruder or predator enters their territory, the birds jump into orchestrate action. Each member of the group holds an advantageous position in fighting off the threat. If your situation is a bit more complex, or you could use an extra hand, teamwork will be the solution to finding success. Call upon your team, your family, your friends to assist you when facing a challenge that requires more than you can comfortably handle. Teamwork strengthens bonds, creates positive memories, and reinforces an awareness that you are not alone. So we always know that we're not alone. Just sometimes we forget. And that's when we get the reminders. So let's see which goddess has any messages for us as well. Oh, I can feel the sun on my back and it's actually quite warm now. So it's just after midday. Oh, it's about 1 o'clock. Oh, abundinatia, prosperity. The universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. So I hope you can see these as I'm sitting outside. Let's see one more. Nematona, sacred space. Create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. That's interesting because I don't know about you, but I actually have 2 altars up in my room, and I find that so what I've been doing is I change them seasonally. So I change this from spring to summer, summer to fall, fall to winter. Sometimes that coincides with the full moon. I put them all outside, either in sunshine, clear them all off, and then put them intuitively. I put them back where they want to go. If I've added some, so these are the unicorns. Laughter, laughter attracts them. So I've talked about that before. How and help. The help you need is on its way. So keep watching for it. So with laughter, I often have to remind myself that laughing is a good medicine. So I often find on YouTube, some comedy specials or things like that, because it definitely raises your vibration if you have a good belly laugh. Sometimes I'll listen to British comedians. Sometimes some of them just like you start listening and you're like, no, that doesn't speak to me. There's a lot of swearing in a lot of them, which doesn't really offend me, but I often wonder, is it necessary? Because you can be funny without swearing. So let's just see what this means. So this week we need to do teamwork. This is what the crows are saying. Teamwork. Look to the ghosts that are showing up this week. You're going to have some past life memories, maybe I'm seeing that maybe you're finding photographs that will bring flood memories back. You may be dreaming. I've seen with the Schumann residents, we've had a lot of solar flares, and a lot of people are saying they're either sleeping a lot or their sleep has been disturbed or they can't sleep. So I think you're going to find in your dreams that some past life stuff's going to come up. The battle is, remember that the more the merrier is what I'm hearing. The crows are saying, again, it's about, they all go together, so it's bringing your team to help you. Create a sacred space. If you don't already, it's very simple to do. You don't need much. Even I started with like favorite crystals, and I've added more over the years. I might have too much on there. I might have to, in the fall, I might have to trim them down, because I buy things and I put them there. Oh, which actually reminds me, I just bought, I've never had any bells, and I wanted to do a water ceremony, and I needed a bell, and because I couldn't decide between 3 different ones, so in the end I decided to buy all 3. They weren't overly expensive, and one was a dragon, so I had to have that, and I don't know what that sounds like, but the others were temple, and I'm very drawn to that sort of sound, so I might actually use it in my meditation as well. And then the fairies are telling us to kick up our heels, look inside yourself and rise above your problem, and that brings in family harmony. And then the unicorns are letting us know, and this is somebody sitting on the edge of the ocean. It looks like a river, sitting on the edge of a river, pretty hopeless. And here comes, I'm hearing Pegasus. Again, I don't know where that came from. This is Pegasus coming in to bring the help. So keep watching. If you haven't seen it yet, the unicorns and Pegasus are coming to help you. It's not hopeless. And the reminder about laughter again. So we've had 2 laughters. So they can't both be wrong, right? The fairies and the unicorns are talking about laughter. It really does help to raise your vibration. So I'm going to spend some time this afternoon doing some more inner child work. As I mentioned last week, I decided that the best way for me to do that was to write letters. I got really stuck trying to write a letter to my mother, and as she has passed, it was suggested that I bring her through me, called blend her energy with mine, and let her say what she needed to say. So that was helpful. I'm going to tackle my ex-husband today, and I find as it's nice and sunny, I'm going to go and ground myself and get out my notebook, and then once I've done that, I'm going to do a bit more reading about QHHT and about illnesses and how our higher selves can heal that. So if any of you have done the QHHT, I'd love to hear from you. I haven't started using it yet. I've still got to figure out how I'm going to do the practice sessions that I have to do, but it will eventually fall into place. I have faith in that, and I don't have anything else. Doesn't feel like there's anything else that needs to come through right now. So I do hope that you've had a good week, and we're certainly still in the middle of summer here in the northeast, even though we're going into August, right? And next week will be the 8/8 portal, so Friday's the 1st, so we've got another week, and then but the portal's already opening. It really feels like that Lyran energy is coming in, the Lionsgate energy is coming in. This time last year, when that Lionsgate opened, was when a whole lot of things shifted for me. So I feel very attached to that. It feels very galactic to me. So if I get any more hits today or tomorrow, I will come back and do a video. But that's what it's feeling like. And of course the lions are there because it's Leo season. But yeah, I'll be interested to hear from you if you've been feeling any of that. So have a good week, and I'll be back soon.